Hello, thank you for coming in. Hello, how are you? Good morning. How are you today? How are you doing? We are going to get started here shortly. Going to be going over a couple of examples that some biblical stories that we have been told over time, including Adam and Eve. Good morning, everyone. Adam and Eve, the story of Job, and the story of Joseph are the three stories that we're going to talk about today, in addition to some other things. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Nehru. I am an Egyptian shaman, bloodline, and esoteric guide here on this planet for the 10th and final time. I am an extraterrestrial being, although I am in a physical skin suit, as you are. Um, I spent the first 48 years of this existence in religion. I was born into or given over to a polygamous family. When I was at birth, I was given over to a polygamous family that practices witchcraft and is religious and all of that. Um, but I've walked this path alone. I am a lone wolf. Some of you might identify with that spirit. I am spiritual. I am not religious. And what I mean by that is that I speak about chakra clearing. I speak about energy. I speak about you becoming the change that you desire to see. I talk about uh, ancient types of rituals, whether that be using candles, whether that be meditating, whether that be out in nature. These are things that I speak about because religion, paganism, is the downfall of man. Okay? Paganism in any form is the downfall of man. Okay? And this is the reason why. Okay? Because they tell you that the God that you serve is infinite, but they only give you one book. Okay, this is a journal. This is one of my journals. But they only give you one book. How is there an infinite God, okay, that has created you a divine and superb being, even in the flesh form? You are magnificent. The way your body functions, it's phenomenal. Doctors can't explain it all. That's why they don't have cures for all of the diseases, okay? But how is it that an infinite God, an infinite being, divine source, would give you just one book? Okay? Because any religion is discriminating and racist, okay, against other religions to begin with, and they try to give you the program, and the program is in the book, okay? And so in order to get beyond those programs, man's programs, 3D, matrix, whatever you want to call it, you have to go beyond the walls of this book. If this were a Bible or the Quran or the Torah or any other religious book that's written and only gives you one and does not tell you to go beyond, okay, and or to look into further canonical texts and things, okay. The Vatican and other organizations, whether public or private, these agencies, these cults, these societies, secret societies, they have hidden information from you and I, okay. And they still do today. That's why the Vatican is not a public place. You cannot go in there and be like, let me see this book written in this time, that was excavated in this time. You can't go in there and just request those books from them. Hi, Jeremy. Okay, you just can't go in and request those books from them. There's a reason for that. Okay, there's a reason for the Skull and Bone Society that the Bush family and the Perot and the Romneys and all of them. There's a reason for those that exist. There's a reason for them, and they're honest to tell you that they exist. They're honest to tell you that they have secrets that they can't tell you about. They're honest about those things. They've said those things in public. Okay, and so these types of organizations and these types of secret societies is the exact reason why they hand you a book and they tell you that you need to worship a God or one or a man. Okay? But in fact, Even in the good book, the Bible, it speaks of not having any other God before me. Why do you not have any other God before me? Because there are other gods. Okay? And you can get to such a place where you realize that the power within yourself, you can become one. You can become the high vibrational deity in your consciousness. You are unconsciously that you don't realize it, but you can become consciously aware that you are the divine being. You are the kingdom. It is within you. And again, that's where all of that comes from. Okay? So let's take a look at the story of Adam, okay, and Eve. Okay? So we know that Adam and Eve were placed in the garden, right? We are told that they are the beginning of man on earth. Okay? The book of Enoch tells us otherwise. The first book of Enoch tells us otherwise. The first book of Enoch tells us. Okay, I'm just looking at this message here, and so thank you for whoever blocked that individual from whatever they were talking about. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. So we're talking about Adam and Eve, okay? And so the story that we are told in regards to Adam and Eve is that God, divine source, okay, created Adam and Eve. He created Adam from the dust of the ground, okay? And he created Eve from one of Adam's ribs. Okay. We are told that they were placed in this beautiful place called the Garden of Eden, and there they were for however long, and they partook in something that they were not told to partake in. Okay, and then they were kicked out. They were evicted. Okay, so it's 10:10 on the video timer and 10:46. Okay, so you might be seeing 10:10. 10:46 or 146 might be relevant, or 164 at 63 degrees currently. Okay. Again, welcome back in, or welcome in. And so, yeah, so with Adam and Eve in the garden, Most High was showing us about ourselves. Every story that we read in the Bible is a story about ourselves and how we can overcome a challenge, or how obedience to the voice within, through the third eye, through the crown chakra, how the voice within guides us. Okay, that's every story in the Bible. It doesn't matter which one. So what is Adam and Eve? What can we learn from Adam and Eve? Yes. And in fact, I've had experiences with the Galactic Federation, actually, through meditations and things. So yes, I'm familiar with the Galactic Federation and the Sanhedrin Council as well. And so, yeah. So with Adam and Eve, what can we learn about being in a place where something is tempting, even tantalizing, and let it snow? There's something about snowing. Perhaps it's snowing where you are. And so the temptation, I believe that Adam was tempted more than once by Eve, because I believe the enemy, the serpent, as we are told, okay, that the serpent represents anything. The serpent can represent sex. The serpent can represent drugs. The serpent can represent money. The serpent can represent anything. But I believe Adam was tempted more than once. So was Eve. Okay? Because the chances of the serpent coming up to Eve the very first time after being given the commandment and accepting the devil's offer is extremely rare. The chances of the devil having to continually come back, hey Eve, it's okay, hey Eve, it's okay, no, it's okay Eve, it's okay, and constantly coming at her, this is how the enemy gets man to give in. Not the first time, but they come back again and again and again, right? Offering the same stale, stagnant, whatever that they're offering, okay? Same thing, okay? Adam eventually gives in. Um, I'm pretty sure that they will be revealed very soon. Yeah, I have no doubt about that, Ryan. I can't speak for when. I do know that I am getting downloads specifically about 13 high vibrational divine beings. And it was 1313 when I looked up there on the video timer. High vibrational beings on this planet that are here to welcome in the age of Aquarius. I am here to welcome in, along with those individuals and others, raise the vibration of the planet and awaken Gaia along with the individuals who are high vibrational or choose to embrace that journey. Okay, so not all will embrace the journey of meditating and high vibrational paradigm shifts and energy clearing and activation. Not all will embrace that. Okay, but that we're told that. We already know that. So that's okay. That's not a surprise. Okay? So in every story, even in the Bible, we are given a picture of how we can overcome something. Man has painted a picture of a God out there somewhere that we have to die to go meet. That is incorrect. There is no God out there that we are going to die and go meet. The esoteric being Aravat Avarat that Enoch speaks of in the book of Enoch, that being is within you. Okay? And you find that out. Crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root chakra. You open up these main chakras and then others, and you go through a Kundalini awakening, a dark night of the soul. Okay? These are things that are going to awaken us so that we can become the high vibrational beings that truly we once were before the Watchers and the low vibrational Anunnaki and Nephilim came here to have sex with humans and created giants. And then from there, then we see what man calls evolution. It's really not evolution. It's just over time, man has gotten further and further away from their deity, from their high vibrational selves. And as they've done that, the world's population has grown, okay? But the divinity of man has decreased severely. Okay? And so, for me, when I look at the story of Job, okay, I see Job as, again, just another example of you and I, okay? You and I have gone through bankruptcy. You and I have had people do witchcraft against us. Whether you know that people do witchcraft against you or not, I can tell you for certain, if you offer unconditional love and your life is still tough, you're still feel like you're on an uphill climb, and you genuinely know that you offer unconditional love to the world, you are probably one of these high vibrational beings that has not awakened to your true divine self yet. And that's probably something that you need to do. Okay? You can start that on your own. However, for most, that is kicked off through some traumatic event, whether it's a car accident, a near-death experience, heart attacks, severe relationship trauma can do that, PTSD issues, right, can do that. But we see these examples about how people, not just between Genesis and Revelation, but we see how people, even in today's time, how people today are going through the Job experience and showing up resurrected. We see this today. Okay, there's many examples of this today. Okay, many people are familiar with Kobe Bryant. Okay, when he went from number 8 to being number 24. Okay, and he talked about him going through the experience of his infidelity and being with that woman and what that did to him, for his family, for him as a masculine energy, how that changed him. Okay, and that, along with whatever else, him and Shaquille O'Neal on the court and whatever else was going on with his professional life at that time, caused him to do some inward searching, and the Mamba was created. And the Mamba pulled him up out of whatever he was in, personally or professionally. Okay? Right? Another example, David Goggins. Okay? David Goggins. If you do not know David Goggins, I strongly encourage you to go look up David Goggins' story, find out about David Goggins. There's several others. The inventor, I don't know their name, but the inventor of Formula 409. Do you know why it was Formula 409? It took 408 times to get to the right formula. That's why it's Formula 409. Okay? So many examples of people overcoming things. Okay? But the Bible would have you to think, religion, Christianity, and any other would have you believe that those miracles happen in unique and rare circumstances, when that's not the case. There are Josephs, Jobs, Noahs, Enochs walking around right now today, right now, on this planet in the 3D, because we are reincarnated. When we need to come back here to close up bloodlines, heal bloodlines, or what have you. Again, I mentioned those 13 high vibrational divine deities. They are not associated with any one bloodline. They come here as catalysts for bloodlines that are extremely demonic or dark or satanic, right? They come here to heal those bloodlines. That's why Yeshua showed up. That's why they call him Jesus. His name's not Jesus. It's Issa or Yeshua. And that's a high vibrational ascended master. So show them some respect and stop calling them Jesus. But that is what that being showed up to do. That is what they showed up to do. Okay? To rescue a people. Same thing with Moses. To rescue a people. Okay? You are here to rescue someone, whether that someone is just yourself. It's not, but start there. Just yourself. And then for it to trickle out. Okay? I like to say that a drop in the lake affects the oceans. Okay? That's the trickle effect. Okay? Everyone's talking about what they want to see, what changes they want to see around the world, but how many people are actually putting actions to what they want to see? How many people are actually becoming what they want to see? How many people are becoming and being the unconditional love that they want to see, treating their children and other children the way that they would want to be treated, or treating other children the way that they're going to treat their children? How many? Look, there's something about a fucking Christmas or something, I don't know. It's 2026 on the video timer, 10:57 and 64 degrees. Any of those numbers may be relevant for you. There might be something about Syria or that part of the country, that part of the earth. Okay. Also, I continue to remind us that there's going to be an out-of-season natural disaster. What that natural disaster is, I don't know. Could be a tsunami in New York, could be a hurricane in Florida, could be something in California, or something in some other part of the world. I'm in the US, so I speak about those territories most often. However, it could be in any part of the world, but again, a natural disaster outside of whatever the season is for whatever that natural disaster is. Okay? On the bottom of the deck. All right? So, same thing with Joseph. Okay? When we look at Joseph's story, Joseph was sold into slavery by his siblings. Okay? Unbeknownst to his parents, initially. Okay? Because of jealousy. There are people today that are kidnapped, unalived, stolen, okay, sacrificed because of jealousy, because they are the chosen ones in their family. Society ignores these things, or they categorize them as something else, because you have non-intuitive, dark, shadow energy, people functioning in their shadow energy in these leadership positions. They're judges, they are the attorneys, right? They are the Supreme Court judges. They're not intuitive, okay? They just have an education. That's it. Okay? I was a tax accountant for 13 years. I can tell you for a fact, I know shit today that CPAs can't tell me or talk to me about and don't know. And they know things that I don't know. That's just the way that it is. Okay? Right. That also speaks to teamwork. Okay? So having a degree helps, But having a degree is man-made rules. Okay? Moses said, "Why are you calling me? I can't speak, I stutter." Divine source said, "Shut up, I'll give you the words and I'll straighten out your tongue." Okay? All right? So man says you need such and such and such. Man says you need to go to mass and you need to tell another human being all of your secrets and all of your stories. Man says you need to do that. Okay? While the same individual that you are sharing your secrets with is raping your neighbor's son and sweeping that under the rug because they don't want that to get out because it's the Catholic Church. Okay. But that's religion. And that's the darkness that has seemingly ruled and reigned for 400 plus years now. Okay? But a change is coming. Okay? And that change is the tribulation. And I don't say that with any threatening anything or nothing. Okay, again, my life and what I've lived in the first 50 years, the first Jubilee here, it speaks for itself. The miracles, the healings, it speaks for itself. I don't need to inflate anything for Most High Arabat Avarat to approve of or to show or to anything. Okay, I don't need to do that. My track record speaks for itself. The fruit on the tree, it all speaks for itself. Okay. So yeah, so Joseph. So man today would see that and they would be like, oh, that cousin killed their niece. Why did that cousin kill their niece? The man doesn't see it as a Joseph story. Man sees it, oh, that's a crime, we need to investigate it, and then man goes through their tedious and what they call meticulous process of trying to find out why did this little girl or boy get unalived by their uncle or aunt. When in truth, if they did the esoteric journey, the intuitive journey, they would find out that that child was the golden child birthed into that family to heal that bloodline, and that uncle or that aunt was jealous, and they did witchcraft against that child, and they kidnapped that child, and they ended up unaliving that child. You can solve that motherfucker in 72 hours and have the perpetrator. But man says, you gotta do this, and you gotta do that, and then you gotta do this, and you gotta do that, you gotta collect the DNA, and then you gotta do this, and then you gotta do that. No. You don't need to interview the neighborhood. Just sit there and be like, highest divine white light, direct me and guide me to the houses and people that I need to speak to about this situation. And just go. Save a lot of time and a lot of taxpayers' dollars, wouldn't we? Okay? So, 3 stories, Adam and Eve, Job, and Joseph, that are happening right now today. It was 26:30 on the timer. Happening right now today, multiplied again because there's 7+ billion people on the planet. Okay, so it's happening. There are even more cases. So you want to know how we go about solving those types of crimes? That's by intuitively doing it. It's 11:03 and 64 degrees. It's 27:07. 11:03 is significant for me. That might be significant for you, whether it's 3:11, 11:03, however. Okay. A grandfather and a cousin was birthed on 11:03. Also, I say grandfather, but the chances are that he's actually my father and not my grandfather. Okay? Because the man who I grew up calling father, whose name is Kevin, is not my biological father, that's for certain. But there's a good chance that it's Berlin. So if that's the case, and if that's the case, I have questions that will probably never be answered by anyone, which is, first is, if that's the case and Judy is my mother, Judy, why did you lay with Berlin? Why were you with him? Why did that happen? That question will probably never, ever be answered. It hasn't been answered in 50 years, so it'll probably never be answered. So yeah, all right. And again, that's what's helped me, is to be able to just, that's the way it is, fine, okay. That's the way you are, fine, okay. That's the way you're gonna treat me, fine, okay. And be able to have a, what they call a strong cutoff game, okay? A strong cutoff game, right? So in looking at these stories, okay, we should open up our eyes to see differently than what we have been seeing. Okay, again, distractions, okay? Man sees, or humans, I should say humans, I'm getting used to using that instead of man. Humans are trying to show us a different picture than what is actually going on. This is why you have the distractions happening over here, and then you have the pandemic. That's why. Okay? Again, there was an article in December of 2019 that I read about some unknown virus, and then 3 months later, look where the world was. I wonder how many people paid attention to that column in December of 2019. I had to go back and look at it. I didn't even see it in December of that year. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and finish up. I just wanted to come on very quickly and share that. I am doing more lives just because of the shadow banning that's going on with the channel. And so the videos that I record and post are getting like 4 and 5 views. And so I just figure for the time being, it's better to just turn 30 minutes on the video timer. It's better to just do live. I'm going to go ahead and go pull a couple of tarot cards just to see where things are. I did pull some angel cards at the beginning of the at the beginning of the live, and here this is what we have. 808 has been mentioned a lot. Okay, 2020 and 0707. So let's take a look and see what we have. So we have compromise, compassion, and swift action. Okay, let go of what no longer serves you. We say that, preach that, teach that all the time on this channel. Okay, let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges. Express your emotions and aim towards a compromise. Where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. Okay? All right? Some of us, like myself, are still waiting for confirmations about all of that. Okay? All right? So, 2020, compromise. It is a confirmation that your assumptions and beliefs are correct. So, for me, in my logical, analytical way of thinking, the 0707 card says, where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. Okay? And then the other card says, it is a confirmation that your beliefs and assumptions are correct. Okay? So, if your beliefs and assumptions are correct about a situation, just find peace and comfort with that. And that's a difficult thing to do. Okay? So, understand that not everyone is as honest as you. Understand, not everyone is as willing to embrace accountability as you. Not everyone is as truthful as you. Not everyone is as honest as you. Just understand that, okay? And then you placed up boundaries when necessary with those individuals when necessary, okay? Because there are those who will never come forward with the truth, okay? There are some who will never. I don't ever expect Judy to tell me the truth. I don't ever expect her to do that. Okay? 0808, swift action. You will enter a time of expansion, so begin taking steps towards achieving your ultimate objective immediately. Finances will miraculously improve, and, oh, somebody has their mind set on you. Okay? And that's the 0808. All right? So again, I've shuffled. Let's go ahead and see what, oh, right away we have the star card. Okay, so that's real nice. And again, isn't that funny? Still on the back after shuffling the cards. Look at that. So no more heartache. For those of you who resonate with this timeline, no more heartache. And I'm getting stuffy, so that's a confirmation for throat chakra blockage or whatever. Return to sender, return to sender, return to sender. And the star, or it could be an ascension symptom. Okay? All right? Tank something, replied something. So TANKL, any of those letters might be significant for your journey. Okay? So we have the star card. So it could be stardom, whether that's local, national, international, okay? And that could be you or someone coming towards you. Wow. So we have the star and the sun. Look at this. Star and the sun card. And then we had the 8 of Wands, but it came in the reverse. It was in the reverse, okay? So we can relax our defenses, collective. We can relax our defenses. Again, forgiveness does not mean reconciliation, and you still need to be aware. Stay alert to stay alive, okay? But with the energy that's coming in, you can let your guard down, okay? All right? This is beautiful energy right here. Confirmation birth. Beautiful energy right here. That's awesome. I like it. I like it. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, here comes an offer. Oh no, Queen of Pentacles. And the 10 of Cups. People. Look. Look. This is us. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and get a spiritual, read a little bit from a paragraph from our spiritual principle. Okay. You may know someone with any of those names. Also, my book recommendation is Marlon Wiggins, The Agent Called Change. That's my reading recommendation. Okay. So page 39, the law of karma or cause and effect. Okay? I'm going to read from here. Okay? In every moment, we have access to an infinite amount of choices. Some choices are made consciously while others are made unconsciously. Unfortunately, a lot of our choices are made unconsciously, but we can change that. Okay, you can become a conscious liver, conscious dweller, okay, conscious thinker, conscious creator. And therefore, we don't think they are choices, and yet they are. As a result of conditioning, our choices are often triggered by people and circumstances. Okay? So we can predict certain things based on our conscious awareness. So I know on an earthly plane that 2 plus 2 is 4, and because 2 plus 2 is 4, that gives me a certain level of confidence when I'm dealing with 2 plus 2. Okay? So when we are certain of something, when we have confidence in something, we are assured, okay? I want to remind us also that with time, patience, and faith, we can accomplish almost anything. So thank you so much for being a part of our journey here. Again, thank you so much if you are a subscriber. If you are not, that's okay. You can check in here. You do not have to become a subscriber of the channel. But again, we are here for one main purpose and one main purpose only on a daily basis, and that is to help us all become the highest, purest, truest version of ourselves possible. Thank you so much as always for tuning in. My name's Nehru. This is Esoteric Guidance. As always, be encouraged.